Hi, and welcome to the Unashamedly Human podcast, where we explore how we can better understand our thoughts, feelings, and actions, change our results, and feel less alone as we navigate that crazy thing called life. My name is Emily Chadbourne, and I am a mindset coach, and I recorded this episode live in my free Facebook group, That Crazy Thing Called Life. If you're not a member yet, head to the show notes to join this epic community of over 3,000 people, and you'll be able to join me live next week as I record the next episode of Unashamedly Human, the podcast. Dear Em, I'm reading lots about manifestation at the moment, and I understand the need to think positively. My question to you is, how do I stay positive in the middle of COVID? Also, when I'm not positive, am I ruining my chances of manifesting my desires? I worry that I'll never get what I want because I'm not positive enough. Thank you. Breaks my heart when I read questions like this because, you know, there's so much misinformation and like snippets of information that is never really explained thoroughly or properly. And really, we want simple pills, right? We want what is the quickest way for me to manifest my desires? What's the cheapest, quickest, easiest route? And so clever marketing and sales says you produce the quickest, easiest, simplest, cheapest route for people to take. And then they will buy your product, they'll read your book, they'll listen to your stuff. You get taught in sales and marketing, don't make it complicated for people, make it easy. And I agree. Life should be easy. But you know what? It's fucking not. It's the opposite of easy. It can be very simple, but simple and easy don't get on all the time. I was watching some Insta stories the other day. There's a woman that I follow in the UK. She's brilliant. Her name's Rosie Ramsey. She's married to a comedian called Chris Ramsey, and they have a podcast called Shagged, Married, Annoyed, and they've just released a book. It's gone to the Sunday Times #1 bestseller. So they are absolutely owning it. And she was talking about her son, Robin, and he's an only child. She's pregnant again with her second, but he went through COVID as an only child, and he went back to school, first day at school, and she was sort of talking about how hard it was watching his sort of sparkle diminish a little bit without his friends and without seeing anyone and no one to play with. I mean, I don't have children, but I felt so connected to her because she was showing real emotion and she was crying. And, she said it's really easy to see our lovely life through Instagram and assume that, everything here is, wonderful and amazing. And although lots of my life is wonderful and amazing, life is still happening and it's hard. And I was so connected to that message because whenever anybody is talking real talk, I am fucking in, man. 100% I'm in. And then she ended it with, anyway, I've got to think about the positive things. The Secret, the book, the manifesting book and subsequent film, The Secret tells you you've got to be positive. And then she signed off and I was like, that's disappointing for me because I think we have been sold an easy, convenient marketing bubble that is, if you have positive thoughts, if you think good things, if you focus your time and your energy to what it is that you desire, then by law of attraction, what you want will manifest for you in your life. And that, my friends, is a crock of shit. At its very grossest, it is arguably the truth, but it's so much more nuanced than that. And it's a really dangerous piece of propaganda because what you're doing is you're saying to people, don't have hard days, don't have negative emotions. And even worse than that, it's saying that emotions are negative. It's demonizing parts of how you feel, therefore demonizing parts of who you are. And if you want to know the key to manifestation, it's to be in full and total acceptance and self-love with yourself. How can you be in full acceptance and self-love with yourself if you are demonizing parts of yourself by saying, I shouldn't be feeling this. I shouldn't be having this emotion. This is a bad emotion. This is a negative emotion. I need to move away from this emotion as quickly as possible. So what am I going to do? I'm going to repress it. I'm going to suppress it. I'm going to numb it. I'm going to pretend like I'm not having it. I'm going to synthesize happiness. I'm going to spiritually bypass this by ignoring the fact that I feel like this. That, my friends, is the most counteractive and counterproductive thing that you can do. And let me tell you this, even if you do manifest your desire, taking that route, you will never enjoy it when it comes to you. You just won't. You'll have the money, you'll be in the relationship. It will be impossible for you to 100% fully surrender to being in that experience, because there is a part of you that is stuck in shadow. There is a part of you that is stuck in darkness. There is a part of you that is stuck in fear. There is a part of you that you haven't dealt with. There was a trauma inside you that you have not transcended. And so it's still going to be there. And you're going to be trapped in this thinking that there is positive and negative, there is good and that there is bad, and that you should only ever be good and positive, and that you should never be negative and bad. And you are denying yourself half the spectrum of human emotion. Why would you want to deny yourself that? So let me rewind a couple of steps, because I'm probably just talking in quite a meta way. Let me just kind of break it down a little bit for you. The way manifestation works is this. The universe understands vibrational language. Everything is in motion. Everything is moving. This pen, the mug, the coffee, my finger, my body, everything is in motion. That is the primary law of the universe. The primary law of the universe is not the law of attraction. The primary law of the universe is the law of vibration. Everything is in motion. Nothing is still. One of the other laws of the universe is that like energy attracts like energy. So high vibrational atoms and particles clump together, and those lower, denser vibrational particles clump together. This vibrational energy attraction works on all sorts of levels. So it's like people who have the same interests hang out together. They say that some of the 5 people that you hang out the most will be the sum of you, right? Like energy attracts like energy. Misery likes misery. Happy people attract happy people. Your vibe attracts your tribe. The universe understands vibrational frequency as its language. So if you are persistently and consistently focusing your energy and your attention into the resistance of what is, i.e., that person said that to me and they shouldn't have done. My dad did that to me and he shouldn't have done. My parents judged me like this and they shouldn't do that. That person did that to me at work and they shouldn't do. I'm going to get involved in that situation now. I'm going to involve myself in this toxicity at work, and I'm going to involve myself in the drama, and my limiting beliefs are coming up here, there and everywhere, and I'm feeling restricted and constricted by my external circumstances, and if only this was different, then I could be happy. While we're in that resistance, that vibrational frequency of resistance, we are always going to be repelling what it is that we desire for 2 reasons. There's an equation that I teach my clients in Hub. A plus A equals R. Your attraction, i.e., I have limiting beliefs. I believe my thoughts. I believe that I'm not worthy. I believe that I'm not good enough. I believe that making money is hard. I believe that all men are assholes. I believe that the world should go my way, and if it doesn't, then all of that. Right? So your vibrational frequency, because whatever vibrational frequency you are in will attract, by law of attraction, the same vibrational frequency. Now, because of the law of polarity, there is also the truth that opposites attract. So this is where it gets really nuanced. It's not as fucking simple as black and white. Have happy thoughts, you'll have happy things. It doesn't work like that. Energy isn't that simple. It's simple, but it's not that simple. But let's keep it simple for the purpose of this podcast. So there is the first A, which is attraction. The second A is action. When I believe my limiting beliefs, when I ignore my trauma, when I refuse to deal with my shit, when I stand behind my protection mechanisms, which makes me bitchy, which makes me angry, which makes me resentful, which makes me a bully, which makes me disconnected, it makes me run away from relationships and not open up completely, and it makes me feel shame around my money, I'm going to take the action of that person. So A plus A, your attraction plus the action that you take creates your reality. A plus A equals R. So while you are living under this assumption that you must be happy in order to create what it is that you want for yourself, you are going to naturally move away from and refuse to face all the icky bits that aren't feeling good, that don't make you feel happy, that you have labeled and consider to be negative. Now, I don't believe that you have anything negative. I don't believe you have negative emotions. I don't believe that you have bad emotions. I don't believe that shame is a bad thing. I believe that shame can sometimes be a very resourceful thing. I also believe that shame can be a very unresourceful thing. It doesn't make it bad. There is no way that we can have an emotion that we shouldn't have. If we shouldn't have it, we wouldn't be able to experience it. Every emotion that we have, we are meant to be able to experience. It's whether or not you want to resist that and therefore refuse to allow it to transcend. And so you'll attach, in your resistance, you attach to it. While I refuse to look at my trauma, while I refuse to look at my own patterns, while I refuse to sit in the seat of self-awareness, while I am just convincing myself that it's his fault or her fault, then I will always be in the resistance to that hard emotion. I don't want to feel like that, so I'm going to ignore it. I don't want to deal with my past trauma, so I'm going to ignore it. So what you're doing is you're moving yourself further from your manifestation because you are never going to be free from those emotions which you are trying to ignore. When we choose, and it is a choice, to put down the resistance to what we have perceived to be a negative feeling or a negative emotion or a negative time in our life, while we put down the resistance to that and we allow that feeling to come, we allow that feeling to tell us what it needs to tell us, to learn the lesson that we need to learn, to take full responsibility. There's a difference between responsibility and then fault and blame. You're not to blame, but it's your responsibility to heal. While we are open and willing to experience that emotion, even though it's hard, even though it's gross, even though it feels counterproductive, even though we'd rather not be having it, even though we'd rather not be facing it, even though we're a little bit embarrassed of it, all of that. When we are willing and open to experience those emotions and to understand that they are not negative, they are not bad, they are just emotions, we give ourselves the ability to transcend those emotions. That means that we experience them so that we can be free of them. Instead of constantly carrying around the perfectionism, the defense mechanisms, the protection strategies, the reluctance to be vulnerable, the reluctance to be open, the reluctance to educate ourselves, the reluctance to be wrong, the reluctance to insert here. Excuse me while I shoot my dog. Theodore, come here, buddy. Come here. Sorry, there's another dog. I think 2 dogs might be fighting outside. Anyway, Theodore's just gone berserk. If, like me, you love reading cool stuff, listening to interesting interviews, and hearing funny, quirky stories that feel really relatable, then sign up for my famous Friday emails. They're jam-packed with awesomeness, and if you sign up and you're not into it, you can always unsubscribe. Link in the show notes, and I look forward to being in your inbox on Friday. It's Friday! So while we carry around these shields of protection, because we don't want to feel rejected like we did in the playground. We don't want to feel rejected again like our 16-year-old boyfriend when he broke our heart. We don't want to feel the rejection that we felt in our childhood because our parents were assholes and didn't know how to parent us. So we carry around these protection mechanisms. Brene Brown calls it the 20-ton shield, right? You've got this shield between your heart and the outside world, right? Protecting yourself. Don't want to have to deal with all my past shit. And you're saying from the universe, what I want is love and connection and abundance. I want the clients, I want the job, I want the relationship, I want the freedom, I want the joy in my heart, I want the money. And yet you're holding this protection mechanism up, refusing to deal with it because you're scared of having a negative emotion or a bad emotion. And so you're blocking what it is that you're calling in from the universe anyway. So the way to put yourself in the vibrational frequency of what it is that you desire is not to pretend like you're never having a bad day, is not to chastise yourself or shame yourself for being a human being and having difficult times and having trauma and having a past and having your heart broken and being rejected. Shut him in his room. It's to move towards that. It's to learn how to deal with that. It's to take responsibility for healing that. And then you will begin to put down the protection mechanisms that you are carrying around that are making you feel exhausted, that are preventing you from vibrating in and taking the action to your dreams. Your procrastination, your self-sabotage, your terrible decision making, all of those things are not because you're not thinking positively enough. It's because you are not sitting in the seat of self-awareness enough, and you are not willing to transcend through the shit that has happened in your past. I'm constantly sifting through my limiting beliefs, the thoughts that I have that are preventing me from taking the action and vibrating into my desired intention. I'm constantly checking in on myself and asking myself, am I protecting myself? Am I defending myself? Or am I being in the vibrational frequency of love and acceptance? Like, that's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. And I have bad days. I have days where I'm sad. I have days where I'm in grief. I have days where it doesn't go my way and I feel really resentful and I resist what is happening and I attach to what is transient. I have those moments, and I'm getting much better at recognizing those moments and being okay with those moments so that I can transcend through them, so that I can learn what I need to learn, so that I can be free of them. That's what manifestation is. Manifestation is not, I'm just going to have happy thoughts every day and then all the good shit's going to come to me. The film, I can't speak for the book because I think the book has got more in it, but the film, The Secret, certainly gave this impression that all you need to do is think about the red Ferrari and then the red Ferrari will come. That's bullshit. If that was the truth, if that was the honest truth, wouldn't we all have red Ferraris sitting in our driveway? So it doesn't work like that. And, you know, some people have got more shit than other people. Some people have got more stuff to clear up than other people have got. And we have different types of stuff to clear up. And, you know, that's just the way of the world. Some people are born into circumstances which give them an unfair advantage over another person. But, you know, that's just the way that the world is. The world isn't fair. We don't all start at the same gate. We don't all run the same race. We just don't. And so that you just have to put that down, because attaching to that thought or resisting that as a reality will also cause you suffering and will bring you further away from what it is that you want to manifest, because you will have a vibrational frequency of, well, that's not fair and that's not okay and that person has more than me, or you don't recognize your own privilege, and so you stay trapped and you don't take the action that you could be taking to create your desires. Ultimately, if you want to manifest different results for yourself, you're going to have to start taking different action. The reason that you're not taking that action right now is because you are limited by the current belief system that you have right now. You can't see outside of your current circumstances. You don't believe that you can do it. You're worried about what would happen if you failed. You're so trapped by what other people think about you, and you're worried that you'll get rejected again, or you're worried that insert whatever it is here. That's the shit you need to clear up. You can think all the fucking happy thoughts that you want till the end of the day. It's not going to fucking manifest you the money if you're just sitting at home going, oh, imagine myself having $1 million, Carol. No, it doesn't work like that. To swing back to the original question, you know, you don't have to think positively. You do need to go and do the deep work around, what is it that I believe to be true? What is my self-image? What is it that is holding me back from going out there and taking the action to create what it is that I want to create for myself? The universe doesn't owe you anything at all. You owe you something. And it is in that experience and in that journey that you begin to realize that the money or the relationship or the experience, like, that just becomes the bonus. The real prize is living a life where you don't feel like you have to justify yourself, where you don't feel like you have to defend yourself, where you don't feel judgment to other people or from other people, where you begin to sit in the seat of complete self-acceptance with yourself. That vibrational frequency is not positive and it's not negative. It's a neutral vibrational frequency. And from the place of neutrality, it is very easy, or easier, to take the action to manifest whatever it is that you desire for yourself. So I trust that that has been useful. Let me know if you've got any questions. The truth is why I love you so. Oh, thank you. Well, I can only speak my truth. And so I speak what I see. But, you know, my truth is my truth. Your truth might be different, and that's okay. You just have, there's no right truth or wrong truth. You just need to ask yourself, well, is my truth working out for me? Is it getting the results that I want for me right now? Thank you for reminding me that I choose. Yes, absolutely. I call this the why me syndrome. Yeah. Victimhood. So many of us are stuck in our victimhood. I was stuck in my victimhood for 35 years. It's how I was earning $20 an hour as a waitress at the age of 35. Because I felt like, it wasn't happening for me. I didn't realize that I needed to happen for me. It's why if you are joining a manifesting course because you want to learn how to manifest, but you're not willing to do any work on yourself, then you are expecting the universe to deliver you what it is that you desire and want. You are not willing to go out and work for it. So you will always be in the lack of it. The hub is the best way to learn manifesting. Yes, it is. And of all the 6 modules, there's only one module on manifesting. It's a detailed module and it's a big module and it's the first module. But what you will learn in that module is, okay, everything that I desire is within my capability to manifest, not the universe, mine. And so now I need to work out what is preventing me from doing that. And what is preventing you from doing that is what books like The Secret consider to be negative things. Feelings that you don't want to feel. So we move towards those things. It sounds really counterproductive, but the moment that you move towards them, you can be free of them. While you're running away from them, they will constantly be attached to you because you'll be in the chase with them. You stop being hunted by your own emotions and by your own fears, and you turn around and you go, nah, I got this. And remember, you don't have to think positive thoughts all the time. That's just synthetic happiness. We call it spiritual bypassing. The universe knows that it's synthetic. There's no point thinking positive thoughts if on the inside you're still feeling trapped, or you're feeling judged, or you're feeling angry, or you're feeling resentful, or you're feeling shame, or you're feeling those feelings. You can pretend to be happy all you want, but the universe knows, the universe works on vibrational frequency, which is how you feel, not what you think. Your thoughts are just illusions. They are not real. So it's more important to be connected with how you feel and to allow how you're feeling not to scare you, so that you can sit with your emotions, so that you can transcend through it. That's the key. Thank you. Working with the hub today. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. You are welcome. Thank you, Em. This was great. I'm really glad that was useful for you. Yes, love the hub. Yeah, honestly, if you're not in the hub, feel free to drop me a PM or a DM if you want to have a quick chat about what the hub looks like and payment plans and all that kind of stuff. It will change your life. I guarantee it. Your money back if it doesn't. That's it for today's episode. I trust you loved it. And remember, you can join me as I record these episodes live on Thursday mornings. All of the details are in the show notes. If you love this episode, I'd really appreciate you sharing it with a mate or on your socials. Please tag me, Emily_thatcrazythingcalledlife. You can also share it through Spotify. And if you're listening on iTunes, please rate and review. It really helps other people find this valuable content. And as always, nothing beats a good bit of word of mouth, does it? So you let Barbara down the road know that she should have a little listen to this episode. If you're interested in joining the Unashamedly Human Hub, my global coaching community, check out the link in the show notes. See you in the next episode, and keep being brave.